ॐ शिवशक्तिसमारम्भां भास्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मत्श्रीनाथपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां हरि ओम्. Okay, now Lalita, can you do the Adla Stotram?
Okay. अस्य श्री अग्गलास्तोत्र महामन्त्रस्य विष्णु ऋषिः अनुष्टुप् छन्दः श्री महालक्ष्मी देवता श्री जगदम्बा प्रीत्यते सप्तशती पाठाङ्गत्वेन जपे विनियोगः। नमः ओम नमः चण्डिकायै। मार्कण्डेय उवाच जयन्ती मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा स्वदा नमोस्तुते। जय त्वं देवी चामुण्डे जय भूतार्तिहारिणी जय सर्वगते देवी कालरात्रि नमोस्तुते। मधुकैडभविद्रा विविध्यातृवरदे नमः। रूपं
मधुकैटभविद्रावि विधातृ
विधातृ वरदे नमः। रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि महिषासुर निर्नाशि भक्तानां सुखदे नमः। रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि रक्तबीज वदे देवी चण्डमुण्ड विनाशिनी। रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि शुम्भस्यैव निशुम्भस्य धूम्राक्षस्य च मर्दिने। रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि वन्दिताङ्ग्रयुगो देवी सर्वसौभाग्यदायिनी। रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि
वन्दिताङ्ग्रि युगे युगे देवी।
वन्दिताङ्ग्रि युगे देवी सर्व सौभाग्यदायिनी। रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि अचिन्त्य रूप चरिते सर्वशत्रुविनाशिनी। रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि नतेभ्यः सर्वदा भक्त्या चण्डिके दुरितापहे। रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि स्तुवभ्यो भक्तिपूर्वं त्वां चण्डिके व्याधिनिनाशिनी। रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि स्तुवभ्यो भक्तिपूर्वं त्वां चण्डिके व्याधिनाशिनी। रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि चण्डिके सततं ये त्वाम् अर्चयन्तीह भक्तितः चण्डिके சான்ஸ்கிரிட்ல படிச்சிருக்கேன் கொஞ்சம் ஈஸியா இருக்கு அந்த ச பாலா ஆனா ஃப்ளோ பெரிய லாங் வேர்டா இருக்கா கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமா இருக்கு சாரி ஸ்துவன் பக்த்யோ சாரி அடுத்தது போயிட்டேனோ
चण्डिके
சாரி चण्डिके सततं ये त्वाम् अर्चयन्तीह भक्तितः रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि
अर्चयन्तीह
त्वाम् अर्चयन्तीह
करेक्ट
त्वामर्चयन्तीह भक्तितः रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि देहि सौभाग्यम् आरोग्यं देहि मे परमं सुखं रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि.
Okay, I think stop there. Valli garu, can you do the second half?
Okay, thank you.
Sloka number
13.
विदेहि द्विषतां नासं विदेहि फलमुच्चकैः रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि विदेहि देवि कल्याणं विदेहि परमां श्रियं रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि
Sorry, the last jahi, just be careful not to stretch it. The last, just cut it off, right? So Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi Yasho Dehi Dvisho Jahi. Just cut it.
सुरासुर शिरोरत्न निघृष्ट चरणेऽम्बिके रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि विद्यावन्तं यशस्वन्तं लक्ष्मीवन्तं जनं कुरु रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि प्रचण्ड दैत्य सदर्पघ्ने चण्डिके प्रणताय मे रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि चतुर्भुजे चतुर्वक्त्र संस्तुते परमेश्वरी रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि कृष्णेन संस्तुते देवि सस्वद्भक्त्या सदाम्बिके रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि हिमाचल सुतानाथ संस्तुते परमेश्वरी रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि इन्द्राणीपति सद्भाव पूजिते परमेश्वरी रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि देवि प्रचण्ड दोर्दण्ड दैत्य दर्प विनाशिनी रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि देवि भक्त जनोद्धाम दत्तानन्दोदयेऽम्बिके रूपं देहि जयं देहि यशो देहि द्विषो जहि पत्नीं मनोरमां देहि मनोवृत्तानुसारिणीं तारिणीं दुर्गसंसारसागरस्य कुलोद्भवाम् इदं स्तोत्रं पठित्वा तु महास्तोत्रं पठेन्नरः स तु सप्तसती संख्या परमाप्नोति सम्पदाम् इति श्री अर्गला स्तोत्रं समाप्तम्.
Okay, so we'll go to Keelakam. We'll continue. We finished 5, so we'll start with the 6th one. Narayan, you can be a student, and Raj, you can be a student today. Okay, so we'll start with the 6th one. स्तोत्रं वै चण्डिकायास्तु तच्च गुप्तं चकारसः समाप्तिर्न च पुण्यस्य ताम्यतावन्निमन्त्रणाम्. So here they're saying this Keelaka Stotram, we spoke about how this Keelakam is the pinning of this, right, behind every stanza. So some of this, I think the rest of the stanzas are just talking about a little bit of the benefits and all the things associated with that. So this is this Keelaka Stotram, Lord Shiva has indeed made it a Gupta, he's hidden it, right, as a secret behind every mantra of Devi Mahatmyam. So that way the conscious form of Devi becomes the object of meditation, and whoever is actually chanting on this, or whoever is meditating on this in the right manner, right, will then of course get the mantranam. Whoever says it properly will get the appropriate, blessed with her auspiciousness, will have access to her auspiciousness. So that way every time we are invoking it, which is kind of what we were discussing last time also. So stotram vai Chandikayastu tacha guptam chakara saha samaptir na cha punyasya tam yata vanni. Some books have yantranam, some books have mantranam. Okay, so if you have yantranam, you change it to mantranam. So punyasya tam yata vanni mantranam. स्तोत्रं वै चण्डिकायास्तु तच्च गुप्तं चकारसः समाप्तिर्न च पुण्यस्य ताम्यतावन्निमन्त्रणाम्.
स्तोत्रं वै चण्डिकायस्तु तच्च गुप्तं चकारसः समाप्तिर्न च पुण्यस्य तां यतवन्नि मन्त्रणाम्.
तां यथावन्निमन्त्रणाम्.
ओके, यथावन्नि. स्तोत्रं वै चण्डिकायास्तु तच्च गुप्तं चकारसः समाप्तिर्न च पुण्यस्य तां यतावन्निमन्त्रणाम्.
स्तोत्रं वै चण्डिकायास्तु तच्चं गुप्तं चकारसः समाप्तिर्न च पुण्यस्य तां यथावन्निमन्त्रणाम्. स्तोत्रं वै चण्डिकायास्तु तच्चं गुप्तचकारसः समाप्तिर्न च पुण्यस्य तां यथावन्निमन्त्रणाम्.
Raj, that first line you're saying tacham, it's tacha guptam.
Okay. स्तोत्रं वै चण्डिकायास्तु तच्च गुप्तं चकारसः.
Yep. Stanza 7. सोऽपिक्षेममवाप्नोति सर्वमेवं न संशयः कृष्णायां वा चतुर्दश्यां अष्टम्यां वा समाहितः. So he says, whoever, of course you can chant all of these mantras anytime you want, right, there's no restriction, but then there are certain times where the potency of the mantra goes up. So he says, whoever indeed meditates on Devi on the Krishnayam va Chaturdashyam, on the Chaturdashi of the Krishna Paksha Chaturdashi or the Ashtami, whoever chants it on that day, right? He indeed attains kshemam. He attains tranquility of mind, kshemam and everything. And there's na samshayaha. There's absolutely no doubt about it, because at those days, it says is even more powerful. So, well, you got a question?
Is it today that is the Chaturdasi?
I don't know.
Yeah, today is Chaturdasi. Krishna Paksham is before Purnami or before Amavasya?
After Paurnami is Krishna Paksham.
Yeah, so today is Chaturdasi actually.
Tomorrow is Amavasya.
Tomorrow is Amavasya, so
And then Shukla Paksham begins. Yeah, right now we are in Krishna Paksha Chaturdashi.
we are doing the right day. That's what I'm thinking.
Probably. Okay. I didn't check it. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because it's my husband's birthday. It is Chaturdasi.
Krishna Paksham is between Paurnami and Amavasya. Krishna Paksham. After Paurnami, it starts waning, right? So it is Krishna Paksham from Paurnami until Amavasya.
Amavasya, yeah.
Krishna Paksham Chaturdasi is today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, sopi kshemam avapnoti. If you want to break it, kshemam avapnoti sarvamevam na samshayaha. Krishnayam va chaturdashyam ashtamyam va samahitaha. Sopi kshemam avapnoti sarvamevam na samshayaha. Krishnayam va chaturdashyam ashtamyam va samahitaha.
So sopi kshemam avapnoti sarvamevam na samshayah Krishnayam va Krishnayam va chaturdasyam astamyam va samahitah.
Ashtamyam, 8. Ashtamyam.
Oh, ashtam. Okay. Sopi kshemam avapnoti sarvamevam na samshayah Krishnayam va chaturdasyam ashtamyam va samahitah.
Ashtamyam. I think Ashtamyam, you said. Ashtamyam.
Ashtamyam. Okay.
Rajeshji, Sobit Kshemam Avapnodi or Sobit Kshemavapnodi? Are there two mas?
No. Yeah, Kshemam. Kshemam, right?
Avapnodi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kshemam avapnoti.
सोऽपि क्षेममवाप्नोति सर्वमेवं न संशयः कृष्णायां वा चतुर्दश्याम् अष्टम्यां वा समाहितः सोऽपि क्षेममवाप्नोति सर्वमेवं न संशयः कृष्णायां वा चतुर्दश्याम् अष्टम्यां वा समाहितः
8. Dadati pratigrihnati nanyataisha prasidati ittam rupena keelena mahadevena keelitam. So it says, so Devi Mahatmyam, when you start chanting Devi Mahatmyam, it should not become like a very mechanical recitation of Devi Mahatmyam, just looking at it and chanting. Of course, you may not know the underlying meaning, which is totally fine. But what it says is, when you're doing it, at least you should remember that form of Devi which we described in the first stanza, right? That supreme consciousness of Devi. You should imagine that form, surrender yourself to the Devi, and then you continue to chant Devi Mahatmya. Even if you don't know the meaning, that's okay, because again it says what Mahadeva has done, what Shiva has done is he's pinned each of these things behind each of the stanzas of Devi Mahatmya. So at the beginning of it, you surrender yourself to the Devi, to her lotus feet, imagine that conscious form of Devi, and then you continue to chant Devi Mahatmyam. So that way you don't, even if you chant it in a mechanical form, that's okay. You're still praying to that Devi, right? So dadati pratigrihnati nanyataisha prasidati, short e, itham rupena keelena mahadevena keelitam. Dadati pratigrihnati nanyataisha prasidati ittam rupena keelena mahadevena keelitam.
Datati pratigrihnati nanyataisha prasidati ittam rupena keelena mahadevena keelitam. Datati pratigrihnati nanyataisha prasidati ittam rupena keelena mahadevena keelitam.
ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति नान्यथैषा प्रसीदति इत्थं रूपेण कीलेन महादेवेन कीलितम् ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति नान्यथैषा प्रसीदति इत्थं रूपेण कीलेन महादेवेन कीलितम्.
Raj, that first line, prati grihnati, I'm hearing a ya sound. There's no ya there, right? Dadati prati grihnati.
Gृह्णाति.
Okay.
Gृह्णाति, right?
Yeah.
Gृह्णाति.
Yeah.
Prati gृह्णाति.
Start. So 9 and 10 will do the meaning together. 9. Yo nishkilam vidhayainam nityam japati samsputam sa siddhaha puta is sa ganaha puta is sopi gandharvo jayate naraha. यो निष्कीलां विधायैनां नित्यं जपति संस्फुटं ससिद्धः सगणः सोऽपि गन्धर्वो जायते नरः.
यो निष्कीलां विधायैनां नित्यं जपति संस्फुटं ससिद्धः सोऽपि गन्धर्वो जयते नरः. जायते नरः. यो निष्कीलां विधायैनां नित्यं जपति संस्फुटं ससिद्धः गणसोऽपि गन्धर्वो जायते नरः.
यो निष्कीलां विधायैनां नित्यं जपति संस्फुटं ससिद्धः सगणस्सोऽपि गन्धर्वो जायते नरः. यो निष्कीलां विधायैनां नित्यं जपति संस्फुटं ससिद्धः सगणस्सोऽपि गन्धर्वो जायते नरः.
न चैवाप्यटतस्तस्य भयं क्वापीह जायते नापमृत्युवशं याति मृतो मोक्षमवाप्नुयात्. So this, what has been pinned, you kind of unpin it by thinking about the Devi. You are kind of unpinning that thing. So by doing this and constantly saying, it says you attain by regular constant chanting, right? Not one-time chanting. So by regular chanting, you can either get siddha, you get spiritually accomplished, right? You get siddhi, you get spiritually accomplished, or you say you can become a gana. A gana is like an attendant, so a servant or an attendant of Devi, or Gandharva. Gandharvas are spiritual beings who reside in higher planets, who are always singing the greatness of the Lord. So different kinds of Lord. So here he says you can become a Gandharva of the Devi, which means you'll have an opportunity to be singing about the greatness of Devi. So these are all the benefits you will, by constant recitation, that you will get. And then it also says you will not get, disease, whatever is destined to happen is going to happen, right? But then the only thing you can do is you can prevent something from happening as much as possible or reduce the impact of it. So it says by doing this, if you will not get prematurely, you will not get affected with some major diseases, or bayam kwapiha, no matter where you go, you are not going to have any fear. Then na apamrityu, right? So which is apamrityu is something which is unexpected death, premature death, right? So you will not get any premature death. And then even after death, moksham avapnuya. So once you do it regularly, then you'll get liberation. So even when you're living, you will have some benefits, and then after you die, you will also get liberation. Na chaivapya tatastasya bhayam kwapiha jayate napamrityu. So na apamrityu, but you say it together. Napamrityu vasham yati mrito moksham avapnuyat, if you want to break it. न चैवाप्यततस्तस्य भयं क्वापीह जायते नापमृत्युवशं ह्याति मृतो मोक्षमवाप्नुयात्.
न चैवाप्यततस्तस्य भयं क्वापीह जायते नापमृत्युवशं याति मृतो मोक्षमवाप्नुयात्. न चैवाप्यततस्तस्य भयं क्वापीह जायते नापमृत्युवशं याति मृतो मोक्षमवाप्नुयात्.
न चैवाप्यततस्तस्य भयं क्वापीह जायते नापमृत्युवशं याति मृतो मोक्षमवाप्नुयात्. न चैवाप्यततस्तस्य भयं क्वापीह जायते नापमृत्युवशं याति मृतो मोक्षमवाप्नुयात्.
ज्ञात्वा प्रारभ्य कुर्वीत न कुर्वाणो विनश्यति, शॉर्ट ई, ततो ज्ञात्वैव light went off. Tato jnatvaiva sampannam idam prarabhyate budaihi. ज्ञात्वा प्रारभ्य कुर्वीत न कुर्वाणो विनश्यति ततो ज्ञात्वैव सम्पन्नम् इदं प्रारभ्यते बुधैः.
ज्ञात्वा प्रारभ्य कुर्वीत न कुर्वाणो विनश्यति ततो ज्ञात्वैव सम्पन्नम् इदं प्रारभ्यते बुधैः.
Correct.
ज्ञात्वा प्रारभ्य कुर्वीत न कुर्वाणो विनश्यति ततो ज्ञात्वैव सम्पन्नम् इदं प्रारभ्यते बुधैः.
ज्ञात्वा प्रारभ्य कुर्वीत न कुर्वाणो विनश्यति ततो ज्ञात्वैव सम्पन्नम् इदं प्रारभ्यते बुधैः. ज्ञात्वा प्रारभ्य कुर्वीत न कुर्वाणो विनश्यति ततो ज्ञात्वैव सम्पन्नम् इदं प्रारभ्यते बुधैः.
सौभाग्याति च यत्किञ्चित् दृश्यते ललनाजने तत्सर्वं तत्प्रसादेन तेन जाप्यमिदं शुभम्. So the previous one, it says only after knowing this Keelakam, only after reading this Keelakam, one should actually go and start the Devi Mahatmyam, because otherwise it says the potency of the Devi Mahatmyam, because we know why, because otherwise Devi Mahatmyam becomes just like a regular chanting, right? Because it's about war and everything, and that's why this Keelakam is extremely important. So it says all the intelligent people, all the wise people will always first recite Keelakam first and then go to Devi Mahatmyam, right? There's one more we are going to learn, which is called a Siddha Kunchika Stotram, which I intentionally kept it for the last, and that is also has a multiplier effect, right, of Devi Mahatmyam, right? But anyway, this is also because of the pinning of the Devi, this is important. And then it says, like I said in the last one, when we did Argala Stotram, it says Patni Manoramam Devi. So I said, okay, that is for the men, right? Patni Manoramam. So I said, for this, there is something for the women. It says, all the Saubhagyam, all the good fortune, the beauty and the charm, which are all seen in women. It says, all of that is a result of your grace, O Devi. Right, so whoever meditates on this form of Devi will automatically get all the grace and the benefits and all the beauty and everything. Saubhagyadi cha yat kinchit drishyate lalanajane tat sarvam tat prasadena tena japyamidam shubham. Saubhagyadi cha yat kinchit drishyate lalanajane tat sarvam tat prasadena tena japyamidam shubham.
सौभाग्यादि च यत्किञ्चित् दृश्यते ललनाजने तत्सर्वं तत्प्रसादेन तेन जाप्यमिदं शुभम्. सौभाग्यादि च यत्किञ्चित् दृश्यते ललनाजने तत्सर्वं तत्प्रसादेन तेन जाप्यमिदं शुभम्.
सौभाग्यादि च यत्किञ्चित् दृश्यते ललनाजने तत्सर्वं तत्प्रसादेन तेन जाप्यमिदं शुभम्. सौभाग्यादि च यत्किञ्चित् दृश्यते ललनाजने तत्सर्वं तत्प्रसादेन तेन जाप्यमिदं शुभम्.
शनैस्तु japyamanesmin, so that we word together because that asmin has a S symbol, right? Japyamanesmin stotre sampattiruchakaihi. You can say it together. Sampattiruchakaihi bhavatyeva samagrapi tataha, put a F, tataf prarabhyameva tat. शनैस्तु जप्यमानेऽस्मिन् स्तोत्रे सम्पत्तिरुच्चकैः भवत्येव समग्रापि ततः प्रारभ्यमेव तत्.
शनैस्तु जप्यमानेऽस्मिन् स्तोत्रे सम्पत्तिरुच्चकैः.
सम्पत्तिर, it's it and a ta. Sampattir uchchakaihi.
सम्पत्तिरुच्चकैः भवत्येव समाग्रापि ततः प्रारभ्यमेव तत्. प्रारभ्यमेव तत्. शनैस्तु जप्यमानेऽस्मिन् स्तोत्रे सम्पत्तिरुच्चकैः भवत्येव समग्रापि ततः प्रारभ्यमेव तत्.
शनैस्तु जप्यमानेऽस्मिन् स्तोत्रे सम्पत्तिरुच्चकैः भवत्येव समग्रापि ततः प्रारभ्यमेव तत् शनैस्तु जप्यमानेऽस्मिन् स्तोत्रे सम्पत्तिरुच्चकैः भवत्येव समग्रापि ततः प्रारभ्यमेव तत्
ऐश्वर्यं sorry ऐश्वर्यं यत् प्रसादेन सौभाग्यारोग्यसम्पदः शत्रुहानिः परो मोक्षस्तूयते सान्न किं जनैः. Says the previous one says you say this Keelakam in a, don't rush through the Keelakam. It says don't say it in a haste manner, say it very gently, understanding what it means on the form of Devi. And when you do that, then the next one talks about by which Devi's grace people can actually get Aishwaryam, by which Devi's presence they actually get Saubhagyam, good fortune, and they are good health, Arogyam, right, freedom, not having any diseases, wealth and everything. And because of Shatru Hani, because of whose presence all the enemies are actually getting defeated, why would you not praise that Devi? She says there's all the more reason for you to praise that Devi because of all these benefits you're getting. She says don't rush through Keelakam, chant it gently and understand the meaning of Keelakam when you're saying this, right? And of course imagine the Devi, right, in your mind. Aishwaryam yat prasadena saubhagyarogya sampadaha. So you can say it together because multiple words there. Saubhagyarogya sampadaha. Shatru hanihi, put a F, hanif, paro mokshaha, put a is, mokshas, stuyate sana kim janaihi. Aishwaryam yat prasadena saubhagyarogya sampadaha. Shatruhanif paro mokshastuyate sanna kim janaihi.
Rajesh, good question. Aishwaryam tat prasadena, that's what the Telugu lipi is. Yes,
Yat prasadena, because of whose prasad, because of whose grace you get Aishwaryam.
Ta needs to be fixed with ya, I guess.
Yeah, yat prasadena.
ऐश्वर्यं यत् प्रसादेन सौभाग्यारोग्यसम्पदः शत्रुहानिः परो मोक्षस्तूयते सा न किं जनैः. ऐश्वर्यं यत् प्रसादेन सौभाग्यारोग्यसम्पदः शत्रुहानिः परो मोक्षस्तूयते सा न किं जनैः.
ऐश्वर्यं यत् प्रसादेन सौभाग्यारोग्यसम्पदः शत्रुहानिः परो मोक्षस्तूयते सा न किं जनैः. ऐश्वर्यं यत् प्रसादेन सौभाग्यारोग्यसम्पदः शत्रुहानिः परो मोक्षस्तूयते सा न किं जनैः.
Okay, so we'll go to Ratri Suktam. So this Ratri Suktam also comes in the first chapter, in somewhere in between after the 88th stanza or something. So once we do it here, you don't have to learn it in that first chapter, right? So just a quick overview of this, right, before we jump into this, right? So there are two Ratri Suktams. One Ratri Suktam actually is part of the Rig Veda itself. So that's called as the Vedokta Ratri Suktam. So the Ratri Suktam, which is part of the Vedas, Rig Veda, right? So even that is actually praising Durga only, praising Makali. It's only praising Devi only, right? But it is also kind of calling out how even in the Vedas at that point, they were actually considering the spiritual energy, the feminine energy as a very important portion of it, right? And if you look at what the individual words, Ratri just means night, right? So Suktam is Su-Uktam, one which is said very well. So there are a lot of Suktam, Sri Suktam, Durga Suktam. So that which is said well or well explained or well told is Suktam. So Ratri Suktam, if you literally translate it, it is just mean the hymn of the night, because Ratri is night, right? But then Ratri can also mean darkness, because at night there is no light, right? So there's darkness, and the darkness could mean external darkness. It could also mean ignorance that is there inside of us, right? So this is a Suktam. It's praising again Devi, and asking for her to clear the negativities which is causing the darkness in our mind and also causing ignorance in our mind, and saying please eliminate all of those things, right? So that is what this Ratri Suktam is about, right? The underlying meaning of it, right? And anyway, there's also another potential benefit of it. It says that because we go to sleep because you essentially get rejuvenated, right? When you wake up in the morning, you come with a lot of energy because you go to sleep, and there's a lot of people don't get proper sleep, and that becomes a big problem for everyone. So they say people who have sleep disorders, you say this Ratri Suktam 2-3 times before you go to sleep. Eventually it will also help you with that amnesia and all the other things, because essentially this Ratri Suktam is about eliminating darkness, eliminating ignorance, and and that's the other explanation for it, right? Okay. So first stanza. विश्वेश्वरीं जगद्धात्रीं स्थितिसंहारकारिणीं निद्रां भगवतीं विष्णोरतुलां तेजसः प्रभुः. Says again, first line always starts with praising the Devi, right? Says, "Oh Devi, who is Vishweshwari, who is the goddess of the entire universe, Jagat Dhatri, one who protects or supports the entire universe, and then Sthiti, one who is actually responsible." See, the thing here is, when we talk about Narayana, how creation happens and everything, even in Bhagavatam it says the spiritual energy, the energy which causes the creation, the energy which causes dissolution, which comes from Narayana and goes into Narayana, is all this. That's the Yoga Maya. That is this whole, that's where this Devi is falling, right? If you're kind of thinking about, because a lot of this will say you are helping in creation, you are helping in dissolution. It says, what does you, because multiple other Bhagavatam will say Narayana helps it. I was talking to Sindhuji the other day when she had come home. So I was telling her that it's like Ardhanarishwara. When you say, you can't separate who does what. The feminine energy, that is the actual potency. That energy or the potency of the Lord is this Yoga Maya, who we are going to praise right now, right? Or talk about. So he says that you are the one who's causing the sthiti, who's causing the creation or a continuation of it, as well as the destruction of it. So Vishweshwarim, so both of these, next word also comes with a long E. Jagadhatrim sthiti samhara karinim nidram bhagavatim vishnor atulam, if you want to break it, Vishnor atulam tejasaha, put a F, tejasah prabhu, saying one who has unparalleled tejas and who is the yoga nidra, you are the yoga maya of Mahavishnu. Vishweshwarim jagadhatrim sthiti samharakaarinim nidram bhagavatim Vishnor atulam tejasah prabhu.
Vishweshwarim Jagadatrim Jagaddatrim Sthiti Samharakaarinim Nidram Bhagavatim Vishnu Ratulam Tejasa Prabhu. Vishweshwarim Jagaddatrim Sthiti Samharakaarinim Nidram Bhagavatim Vishnu Ratulam Tejasa Prabhu.
Vishweswarim Jagadhatrim Sthiti Samharakarinim Nidram Bhagavatim Vishnu Ratulam Tejasa Prabhu. Vishweswarim Jagadhatrim Sthiti Samharakarinim Nidram Bhagavatim Vishnu Ratulam Tejasa Prabhu.
Okay, we'll switch. Vijaya, you can be a student. Anandji, if you're there, you can be a student today.
Anand is actually not feeling well, Rajesh ji.
Okay, no problem.
He's here, but he is not able to talk.
No worries. Shobha, நீங்க ஸ்டூடெண்டா இருக்கல? ரமேஷ். Shobha mute இருக்கல. Let's see here. Let me see who else.
And sorry, Rajesh, I just dozed off. I'm so sorry.
No worries. In the Ratri Suktam படிச்சாலே தூக்கம் வந்துரும் Shobha. That's why.
No, it's not like that. I'm so tired. The reason being my kids are leaving to India tomorrow. So the packing, I'm going nuts in the house. That's why. Sorry about that. என்ன படிச்சிட்டு சொல்லுங்க. Yeah.
No, nothing. If you want to take it easy, okay. Sindhuji, you can be a student. No worries. Okay.
Sure.
So in the even I'm not kidding. When you say Ratri Suktam, you'll see people yawning actually sometimes. So Brahmo Vacha Tvam Swaha Tvam Swada Tvam Hi Vashatkaraha, put is Vashatkara Swaratmika Sudha Tvam Akshare Nitye Tridha Matratmika Sthita. So this is Brahma himself is praising the Devi, right? So these are the words that Brahma is saying you are the Swaha. So you are the sacrificial things that you offer to the Agni. You are the Swada, like I think we discussed last time also. Swada is kind of what is offered to the Pitris, right? And the Swaha is what you offer to the gods, right? And then this thing, you are also when you're offering it, you are saying these, the various various things that you say, right? When you are offering, you are also the essence behind the swaras, which are actually used when you're actually doing the offerings. And in the very next line, he says, Sudha, you are the nectar within the Om, Omkara, if you put the Om in Sanskrit, it has that Bindu Matra on the top, right? So he says, you are that in the Omkara and you are the nectar as that, and you are essentially behind this mantra, Om, you are the essence behind the 3 mantras also, right? You are sitting there in the Bindu of the Om. So Brahmo Vacha, we already did that, I think. Brahmo Vacha. त्वं स्वाहा त्वं स्वधा त्वं हि वषट्कारस्वरात्मिका सुधा त्वमक्षरे नित्ये त्रिधा मात्रात्मिका स्थिता.
Shall I do?
Yeah, go ahead, Sundari.
Brahmavaja Tvam Swaha Tvam Swada Tvam Hi Vashatkara Swaratmiga Sudha Tvam Akshare Nitye Tridha Matratmiga Stida Tvam Swaha Tvam Swada Tvam Hi Vashatkara Swaratmiga Sudha Tvam Akshare Nitye Tridha Matratmiga Stida.
Vijaya, are you able to do it? Vijaya is on mute.
Then I can do it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Shobha.
Brahma uvacha tvam swahatvam swadatvam hi vashatkara swaratmika sudat vakshama vakshare nitye tridha matra vigastida tvam swaha tvam swadatat tvam hi vashatkara swaratmika sudatvamakshare nitye tridha matra vigastida.
Ardha matrastita nitya yanucharya visheshatah tvameva sandhya savitri tvam devi, short e, tvam devi janani para. So this is where kind of he's saying that ardha matrasita, you are the settled bindu in the omkara mantra, the om, you are in that bindu, right? And which he says that particular thing which cannot even be said, it cannot even be pronounced properly, uchar, you cannot say it clearly, right? Just the bindu matra there. And then he says, you indeed are the sandhya. So sandhya is, you can generally say sandhya is trisandhya, you can say morning, afternoon, evening, 3 transition points. But here he's referring to sandhya specifically in the transition between the evening and the night, right? That's sandhya. And you are also the savitri, which means the savitri is all the power of the sun during the day. So that during the day you are the power of the sun, and during the night also you are the powerful one. And the tvam swaha, the savitri, tvam devi janani para, and you of course are the mother of the entire universe. Ardha matrastita nitya yanucharya visheshatah tvameva sandhya savitri tvam devi janani para. Ardha matrastita nitya yanucharya visheshatah tvameva sandhya savitri tvam devi janani para.
Arthamatra stida nitya yanucharya visheshadaha Tvameva sandhya savitri tvam devi janani para. Arthamatra stida nitya yanucharya visheshadaha Tvameva sandhya savitri tvam devi janani para.
अर्थमात्रा सिदा नित्या यानुच्चार्या विशेषतः त्वमेव संध्या सावित्री त्वं देवी जननी परा. अर्थमात्रा सिदा नित्या यानुच्चार्या विशेषतः त्वमेव संध्या सावित्री त्वं देवी जननी परा.
त्वयैतत् धार्यते विश्वं त्वयैतत् सृज्यते जगत् त्वयैतत् पाल्यते देवी, short e, त्वमत्स्यन्ते च सर्वदा. I'll combine 4 and 5 and tell the meaning. त्वयैतत् धार्यते विश्वं त्वयैतत् सृज्यते जगत् त्वयैतत् पाल्यते देवी त्वमत्स्यन्ते च सर्वदा.
त्वयैतत् धार्यते विश्वं त्वयैतत् सृज्यते जगत् त्वयैतत् पाल्यते देवी त्वमत्सन्ध्ये च सर्वदा.
त्वमत्स्यन्ते.
त्वमत्सन्ध्ये.
No, त्वमत्स्यन्ते. Yeah, why?
त्वमत्स्यन्ध्ये, right?
Yeah.
त्वयैतत् धार्यते विश्वं त्वयैतत् सृज्यते जगत् त्वयैतत् पाल्यते देवी त्वमत्स्यन्ध्ये च सर्वदा.
त्वयि तव त्वयि त्वयि दत्तार्यते विश्वं त्वयि तव त्वदैतत्सृज्यते जगत् त्वदैतत्सृज्यते तत् जगत् त्वयैतत्पाल्यते देवी त्वमच्यन्ते च सर्वथा त्वदैतत्तार्यते विश्वं त्वदैतत्सृज्यते जगत् त्वदैतत्पाल्यते देवी त्वमच्यन्ते च सर्वथा.
So you are saying twadaitat or something. Twayaitat. Yeah. Why? Twayaitat.
Twaitat. Yeah.
Correct. You got it. Yeah. Sounds fine. विसृष्टौ सृष्टिरूपा त्वं स्थितिरूपा च पालने तथा संहृतिरूपान्ते जगतोऽस्य जगन्मये. So in the previous one, you're saying that you are srijyate jagat, like we spoke about. You are the energy which is creating the world. And then palyate, you are also the one which is sustaining the creation, right? And finally, tomat sante, ante, it ends also into you, right? All the three, so creation, sustaining, and end. Then the next stanza is saying that when you are creating, you are sthit srishti rupa, visishto srishti rupa. So you are a srishti rupa. That's the name given to you because you're creating, right? And then sthiti rupa is when you're nourishing and sustaining the creation, you're sthiti rupa. And then you assume the form of samhriti rupante. You assume the form of samhriti when you withdraw the entire creation off to this thing. And then Jaganmayi, because you contain the entire, when everything is now done and everything is inside of you, you are then Jaganmayi at that point. So just different names for creation, sustaining, dissolution, and the state after the dissolution, like we spoke about. See, something cannot come out of nothing, right? So that's the example I always give. It has to be something. It is just a form you cannot see. So I think one example I always give people who heard it before is, I'll see if you take a seed of an apple seed, right? And then you say there are apples in it, nobody will say agree with it. They say it's just a small seed, right? But under the right conditions of sun and water, it becomes an apple tree, right? So that is how the very, very simple rudimentary explanation of the dissolution is. It all goes, but it all doesn't completely go. It has to reside in some subtle form inside Narayana. Is that's how it resides. And then when the time comes, everything comes out, because it cannot come out of nothing, right? So that is the simple explanation. Anyway, here it says at that point you are Jaganmayi because the whole Jagat is residing inside of you. So Visrishtau Srishti Rupa Tvam Sthiti Rupa Cha Palane Tata Samhriti Rupante Jagatosya Jaganmaye. विसृष्टौ सृष्टिरूपा त्वं स्थितिरूपा च पालने तथा संहृतिरूपान्ते जगतोऽस्य जगन्मये.
विसृष्टौ सृष्टिरूपा त्वं स्थितिरूपा च पालने तथा संहृतिरूपान्ते जगतोऽस्य जगन्मये. विसृष्टौ सृष्टिरूपा त्वं स्थितिरूपा च पालने तथा संहृतिरूपान्ते जगतोऽस्य जगन्मये.
विसृष्टौ सृष्टिरूपा त्वं स्थितिरूपा च पालने तदा संहृतिरूपान्ते जगतोऽस्य जगन्मये. विसृष्टौ सृष्टिरूपा त्वं स्थितिरूपा च पालने तदा संहृतिरूपान्ते जगतोऽस्य जगन्मये.
महाविद्या महामाया महामेधा महास्मृतिः महामोहा च भवति Mahadevi Mahasuri. Says you are Mahavidya, you are the greatest secret knowledge that is there, which mind cannot comprehend. You are that knowledge. Then the Mahamaya is of course the Maya, which which creates dissolution, right, in everybody's mind. You are the Mahameda. So again, the intelligence, the Medas, the intelligence which is beyond the mind. Mahasmritihi is the one, is the smriti, memory. Smriti is something which is said, right, which is not written or anything. It's referring to the memory. So it is that memory which knows everything that is there. And Mahamoha is the again the knowledge which our mind cannot process or comprehend. And you are the Mahadevi. And Mahasuri is referring to the greatest of the goddess. So Sura is a god, Suri is goddess, right? Mahasuri is a great goddess. महाविद्या महामाया महामेधा महास्मृतिः महामोहा च भवति महादेवी महासुरी.
महाविद्या महामाया महामेधा महास्मृतिः महामोहाज भवति महादेवी महासुरी महाविद्या महामाया महामेधा महास्मृतिः महामोहाज भवति महादेवी महासुरी
महाविद्या महामाया महामेधा महास्मृतिः महामोहा च भवति महादेवी महासुरी महाविद्या महामाया महामेधा महास्मृतिः महामोहा च भवति महादेवी महासुरी
Mahadevi, that's it, long E, okay.
महादेवी महासुरी
Prakrutistvam cha sarvasya gunatraya vibhavini kalaratrir maharatrir moharatrischa. Okay, moharatrihi cha, so it becomes a ish there, moharatrischa daruna. So he says you gave this concept called prakriti, and I won't get into the details of that because that will take an entire class, but the simplest way to think about this prakriti is that from which things can come. That is the ultimate moola prakriti, that is the absolute source from which various things can come, right? Vikriti is the opposite, that into which things end, and it cannot give rise to other things, right? So this prakriti, when it mixes with the various gunas, all this creation happens, all of that. So he says you gave rise to the prakriti. That's why even Lalita Sahasranam, it comes prakriti, vikriti, all those words come there, right? And then gunatraya, you mix the three guna, sattvam, rajas, tamas, and all the creation is actually happening. And then you are kala ratri, like we said, the ratri here could be literally taken as a night, or it could be taken as a dissolution or the ignorance or any darkness, right? So he says you are a kala ratri, he's saying you are the great night which causes the dissolution, or the ignorance which causes the dissolution. You are also the Maharatri, you're also the night of the Prakriti, which is full of mystery, which we are not able to understand. And Moharatri, which also causes delusion, that we believe something is happening, but nothing is happening, right? So you are that ignorance, you create that ignorance, which is, causing all of us to believe this. So that's why we are saying this is all about the Ratri Suktam is to eliminate that ignorance and to eliminate the darkness. Prakristvam cha sarvasya gunatraya vibhavini कालरात्रिर्महारात्रिर् मोहरात्रिश्च दारुणा.
प्रकृतिस्त्वं च सर्वस्य गुणत्रयविभाविनी कालरात्रिर्महारात्रिर्मोहरात्रिश्च दारुणा. प्रकृतिस्त्वं च सर्वस्य गुणत्रयविभाविनी कालरात्रिर्महारात्रिर्मोहरात्रिश्च दारुणा.
प्रकृतिस्त्वं च सर्वस्य गुणत्रयविभाविनी कालरात्रिर्महारात्रिर्मोहरात्रिश्च दारुणा. प्रकृतिस्त्वं सर्वस्य गुणत्रयविभाविनी कालरात्रिर्महारात्रिर्मोहरात्रिश्च दारुणा.
त्वं श्रीस्, त्वं ईश्वरी, त्वं ह्रीस्, त्वं बुद्धिर् बोध लक्षणा लज्जा पुष्टिस् तथा तुष्टिस् Tvam Shantihi. So this we have to say the Visarga because Ksha is coming later. Tvam Shantihi Kshantirevacha. So it says you, it says Tvam, you are all these, right? It says you are that stream, the Bija Mantra stream, and we're going to see more about Bija Mantra when we come to the Navakshari, right? So anyway, so you are that stream Bija Mantra. You are also the goddess of prosperity. You are also the Hreem Bija Mantra, which is actually there. And then it says this, you are also this energy which is manifesting as Lajja, Pushti, Tushti, Shanti, Kshanti. So those of you who know that, Namastasye, Namastasye, all of these things come there, right? Saying you are Yadevi Sarva Bhuteshu Tushti Rupena Samstita, Lajja Rupena Samstita, all of that, right? So the energy which causes the modesty, which is Lajja, Pushti is the nourishment, right? The nourishment of it. And then Tushti, the contentment, peace, Shanti is peace, and all of that. So you are that energy which causes all of these things.
What is the Bodha Lakshana?
Huh?
Bodha Lakshana, the first one, first line.
Lakshana is the this thing, right? Lakshanam is the character, right? Of that, right?
Bodha Lakshana is Bodha Lakshana.
Bodha Lakshana.
Yeah, Bodha Lakshana.
You're asking what it means. Tvam Buddhir mind. I think it's the understanding. I don't know. Gomati Bodha Lakshana in the meaning. Buddhi is the intelligence of the mind. I don't know what Bodha Lakshana is.
Yeah, Bodha Lakshana, I think what is being taught. So it's basically the same thing. Bodham is enlightenment type of thing. What is given to you for understanding. So it's more like passive voice, so to say. What is being understood. Bodha Lakshana, she is the Lakshana, she is the what do I say?
One who helps you comprehend.
Yeah. She's the core of understanding, so to say. Yeah.
Okay.
Tvam Shris, Tvam Ishwari, Tvam Hris, Tvam Buddhir, Bodha Lakshana, Lajja Pushtis, Tata Tushtis, Tvam Shantihi, Kshantirevacha.
Tvam Shris, Tvam Ishwari, Tvam Hris, Tvam Buddhir, Bodha Lakshana, Lajja Pushtis, Tada Tushtis, Tvam Shantihi, Kshantirevacha.
Kshantirevacha, that K sound, Kshantirevacha.
Shantirevacha. Okay.
The first one is a Sha, right? Shanti, SH.
Okay.
The next one is KSH, Shanti.
Shantihi, Kshantirevacha. Tvam Shris, Tvam Ishwari, Tvam Shris, Tvam Ishwari, Tvam Hris, Tvam Buddhir, Bodha Lakshana, Lajja Pushtis, Tada Tushtis, Tvam Shantihi, Kshantirevacha.
Tvam Shris, Tvam Ishwari, Tvam Hris, Tvam Buddhir, Bodha Lakshana, Lajja Pushtis, Tada Tushtis, Tvam Shantihi, Kshantirevacha. Tvam Shris, Tvam Ishwari, Tvam Hris, Tvam Buddhir, Bodha Lakshana, Lajja Pushtis, Tada Tushtis, Satvam Shantihi, Kshantirevacha.
Khadgini, Shulini, Ghora, Gadini, Chakrini, Tata, Shankini, Chapini, Bana, Bhushundi, Parigayudha. She says, you, the 8 arms of the Devi, which is holding the 8 weapons. So Khadga is a sword, then Shulam is a Trishulam, then Ghora means one who makes a very terrifying noise or the sound, right? Then Gada, of course, is the mace. Chakra, which is the discus. Then Shanka, which is the conch. Then Chapa and Bana are the bow and arrows. Then Bhushundi is some type of weapon as well. And then Pariga is like the club, which holds a club which has got the iron pokes and everything coming out of that. So this is describing the form of the Devi who's holding all this in her hands. Khadgini, Shulini, Ghora, Gadini, Chakrini, Tata, Shankini, Chapini, Bana, Bhushundi, Parigayudha.
Khadgini, Shulini, Ghora, Gadini, Chakrini, Tada, Shankini, Chapini, Bana, Bhushundi, Parigayudha. Khadgini, Shulini, Ghora, Gadini, Chakrini, Tada, Shankini, Chapini, Bana, Bhushundi, Parigayudha.
Khadgini, Shulini, Ghora, Gadini, Chakrini, Tata, Shankini, Chabini, Bana, Bhushundi, Parigayudha. Khadgini, Shulini, Ghora, Gadini, Chakrini, Tada, Shankini, Chabini, Bana, Bhushundi, Parigayudha.
Saumya, Saumya Tarashesha, Saumyebhyas Twati Sundari, Saumyebhyas Twati Sundari, you can say it together. Para Paranam, say those 2 words together. Para Paranam Parama Twameva Parameshwari. So Saumya is somebody who is very calm, right? And very cool and calm and composed, right? So you are very calm, cool and composed. And then you are also more complete, right? Nothing is incomplete in you as Devi. You are complete. You are completed up with that. And Tvati Sundari, you are of course exceedingly beautiful as well. And Para Paranam. So you are, see, one of them is referring to the knowledge which is related to the world, the worldly things. Then there is a Para is referring to the knowledge related to the divinity which we don't know. So he says you are beyond both the Para and the Aparanam, right? You are beyond both of those things. And Twameva Parameshwari, you yourself, you are the supreme goddess also, right? Because all of these things is the stuti that Brahma is doing. So when you're doing the stuti, you're just praising the Devi, right? In all of these stanzas. Saumya Saumyatara Shesha Saumyebhyastvati Sundari Paraparanam Parama Tvameva Parameshwari.
सौम्या सौम्यतराशेष सौम्येभ्यस्त्वदि सुन्दरी परापराणां परमा त्वमेव परमेश्वरी सौम्या सौम्यतराशेष सौम्येभ्यस्त्वदि सुन्दरी परापराणां परमा त्वमेव परमेश्वरी
सौम्या सौम्यधराशेष सौम्येभ्यस्त्वदि सुन्दरी परापराणं परमात्वमेव परमेश्वरी सौम्या सौम्यतराशेष सौम्येभ्यस्त्वदि सुन्दरी परापराणां परमात्वमेव परमेश्वरी ಇದು ತಪ್ಪ ಪೋಚೋ
ಇಲ್ಲ ಪರಾಪರಾಣಾಂ ಪರಮಾ ತ್ವಮೇವ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರಿ
ಪರಾಪರಾಣಾಂ ಪರಮಾತ್ವಮೇವ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರಿ ಪರಮಾತ್ವಮೇವ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ
okay. And the parama, you just stretch it a little bit, right? Paraparanam parama tvameva parameshwari. Then it will land.
Paraparanam parama tvameva parameshwari.
Yeah. Yacha kinchit kvachit vastu sadasat vakhilatmike sadasat vakhilatmike tasya sarvasya ya shaktihi putta is shaktis sa tvam kim stuyase tada. Says whatever vastu kinchit, whatever that vastu may be, however insignificant it may be, which that vastu is present anywhere, whether that vastu is sat, which is like always there, that vastu is there everlasting, or that vastu is asat, which is like not, it's just transient, right? Something which is there only for a short amount of time, or you are the energy, like we said, which is there in all of these things, and all of these things are just a manifestation of your energy, of your shakti, any vastu that is actually there. Then in the end, like it says in the previous one, it says satvam kim stuvese tada. Why will somebody not praise you because of this? Because all the things which are there, you are the energy behind all the vastu which is there, no matter how insignificant that vastu is. यच्च किंचित् क्वचित् वस्तु सदसत्वाखिलात्मिके तस्य सर्वस्य या शक्तिः सा त्वं किं स्तूयसे तदा.
यच्च किंजल् क्वचिदस्तु सदसद्वाखिलात्मिके तस्य सर्वस्य या शक्तिः सा त्वं किं स्तूयसे तदा. यच्च किंजल् क्वचिदस्तु सदसद्वाखिलात्मिके तस्य सर्वस्य या शक्तिः सा त्वं किं स्तूयसे तदा.
यच्च किंचित् क्वचित् वस्तु सदा सत्वाखिलात्मिके तस्य सर्वस्य या शक्तिः सा त्वं किं स्तूयसे तथा. यच्च किंचित् क्वचित् वस्तु सदा सत्वाखिलात्मिके.
Sorry, Shubha, sadasat.
Oh,
you said sadasat, right? Sadasat.
Yeah, sadasatvakhilātmike tasya sarvasya ya shaktis satvam kim stūyase tata.
We'll do one more and we'll stop. Yaya tvaya jagat srashta jagat patyati yo jagate sopi nidravasham neetaha. Put ih sound, neetah kastvam stotu miheshwaraha. He says you. So this Narayana or Vishnu, who is the creator of the universe, like like you said, but the one who creates it and sustains it, and everything ends up going into Vishnu, Narayana, right? He says, but even that God, even that Narayana and everything, the energy, like we spoke about, that's where we kind of differentiated, right? The spiritual, the potency of Narayana is you, because you are the one who is actually putting Narayana to sleep during the period where no creation is happening, after the dissolution has happened. And then when the time for creation starts, at the appropriate time, the trigger has to happen. And you are that Yoga Maya who is going and triggering Narayana now to say that creation has to start happening. So when you are such an essential part of this creation, sustenance and element dissolution, how can somebody not praise you again? Kastvam stotum. Why will somebody not praise you? यया त्वया जगत् स्रष्टा जगत् पात्यति यो जगत् सोऽपि निद्रावशं नीतः कस्त्वां स्तोतुमिहेश्वरः. Oops.